Eating lamb for Easter is a long time tradition. Stay tuned and see how I make my delicious herb roasted leg of lamb. So I'm starting off with my lamb here. It's a boneless leg of lamb. So I am going to cut it out of the plastic. And after I cut it out of the plastic, there's also a little kind of mesh that is over the lamb. I assume that's to keep it together, like keep it as a roast. So I'm going to cut all of that off. Once I cut it off, I washed it really well with lemon. Because lamb has a really gamey smell, doing this kind of helps with the smell. It doesn't go away entirely, but it helps. And it also, this is what we do. We wash our meat. So I wash it with lemon and then I wash it a second time with vinegar. So I'm going to drain it out and dry it out with a paper towel. So these are the herbs I'm going to be using. I have rosemary, thyme, onions. I have some scallions and some garlic. I'm going to blend all of this up with some olive oil in my blender. And this is what I'm going to use to marinate my lamb. I also going to put in a habanero pepper, which is optional. This is just my thing. I like a little spice in my food, so I'm putting that in there. So I'm going to blend all of that up and come back and show you. So I'm going to take the lamb out of the bowl and I'm going to put it on a board. And what I'm going to do is kind of score the lamb. So I'm going to make like some lines this way and then across. So this helps the seasoning to soak in really well. And that's all fat on top there. So that's going to help the cooking process also. So that is what I did. Then I seasoned this really well with salt and pepper. You want to put enough salt because as you see, it's a very thick piece of roast. So I put some garlic powder, onion powder, a lot of salt and pepper. I also put some Italian seasoning and parsley on there. And I'm just going to rub all of that in really well. It's like a rub. And that's just the dry rub to start. Once I'm done with that, I will replace it back into the bowl and then I'm going to put on the marinade on there. I'm still putting salt because you want to make sure that this gets enough salt. I don't like a bland tasting lamb. I like the tasty seasoning. So right now I'm just marinating it with that really nice smelling marinade. It's so good. And I refrigerated this for 2 days. Marinating it for a long time helps with the tastiness of this lamb once it's cooked. So I left it in the refrigerator, covered it with plastic, and I left it in the refrigerator for the 2 days. So after the 2 days, I took the lamb out of the refrigerator and I set it aside. And I am cutting up my carrots. I am cutting it at an angle, as you can see here, just to give it a little nice look. So I'm just going to cut that down, cut all of those up. I also going to put some potatoes in here. I love sweet potatoes, so that's one thing that I always put in my roast. Even if it's chicken, I have a roast chicken recipe. I'll leave the link in the description for you to follow that one. That one has the sweet potatoes, but you can put regular Irish potatoes with the carrots, or you can add sweet potatoes too with it. It's all about your preference. So these are the potatoes. I cut them in that size. You can also use like the baby potatoes. And I'm going to season this up. So I'm going to put in some onion powder, garlic powder, some pepper flakes, then I'm putting in some parsley, some rosemary. I also put in some paprika. So you're just pretty much putting dry seasonings in here. You want to definitely put in that rosemary. I'm also putting in some seasoned salt, black pepper. Just seasoning this up just like you season the lamb. You just want to use all those dry herbs and dry rub so that you can have flavor in your vegetables also. So I'm also going to add in some olive oil in here and I'm just going to mix all of that up. And that is going to be the base for us to just put our lamb on. So that's the seasoned salt there. I'm just putting a little bit. And I also put some pink Himalayan salt because you want your vegetables to be seasoned. You don't want it, even though that lamb, all those juices gonna, just fall into those veggies, you still want to season them up a little. So these are some fresh rosemary I'm putting in there. I also put in some bay leaf in there also. That's what I'm putting right now. So I'm gonna mix all of this up, and then I am going to take my lamb and sear it a little here in my cast iron skillet. I have some olive oil in the skillet, and I'm just going to sear it a little just to lock in the moisture. This is an important step because it also helps with the cooking halfway through. Well, it's not really halfway through, but it helps with the cooking time. So I'm just going to brown it a little on each side, and then I'm going to place it into on top of the vegetables. So now I'm going to deglaze this pan with some red wine. I'm just deglazing it, and I'm going to season up this sauce with some salt and pepper. Just some salt and pepper because it have all that goodness in there from the lamb that I used to marinate the lamb. So I'm just seasoning that up, and then I'm going to take that and pour it right over the lamb. I also have some melted butter. I just took that and pour it over the lamb, and then I'm pouring the sauce. So this is what it looked like, and it's ready for the oven. So I'm going to put in my thermometer in there. I have this thermometer that I can leave on the outside and see the temperature. I can set the temperature, and I want this to cook up to, I like my lamb medium well. So I cooked it up to 145 to 150 because I don't like it too pink. I don't like to see all that blood running out. Some people like it, different ways, but for me, I like medium well. So I'm going to put this in the oven. I set it, and I'm going to put it in the oven. This actually baked for an hour and a half at 350 because I did medium well. If you're doing medium rare or anything like that, you're going to have to cook this for a shorter time. So this is the lamb. It came out of the oven, and I let it rest for about 25 minutes. Once it's rested, I'm going to carve it, and I'm going to show you what it looked like. So let's slice this up, and you'll see what it looked like on the inside. As I said, I like medium well, so that's what this is. It looks really nice. It was nice and moist. It smells so good. And I'm going to plate this up, and you'll see how this delicious lamb look. You can try this for the Easter. It's going to be a great addition to your menu. I really hope that you guys try this because it was really tasty. You taste all of the marinade and everything right through that meat. So this is my plated lamb and potatoes with the carrots, and I made it a little pretty, and I'm going to show you how moist it is once I cut into that. I mean, this was really, really delicious. And as I said, you can add, other foods to this. This can just be an addition to your Easter dinner or lunch. So I really hope you guys try this recipe. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. Comment and like it. Please like it because that helps me a lot. So thank you so much, and you guys have a happy Easter, and I really hope you try this recipe. God bless. Bye.